From athletes who thought they had the win and got it stripped away at the last second, to blunders that cost people the victory. Join me as I show you 25 people who celebrated too early. Number 25. Nailed it, then got nailed. Oftentimes, a victory celebration is warranted, required even. After all, when you do something pretty epic and you feel the overwhelming energy that is within you, why would you want to celebrate it? Take, for example, this young kid. We'll show you part of this gift first because it's really a two-part thing. As you can see here in part 1, this kid just made a very nice dunk that any parent would be proud of, and the kid celebrates as a result. But, as part 2 of the gift shows, the kid made such an epic dunk that it shook the basketball net and stand loose and caused it to conk him on the head. Special awareness, kid. It's important for athletes to have. 24. That should have went in. And just so you know, it's not just regular people who have premature celebration syndrome. It happens all the time in the major leagues of sports from all over the world. Take, for example, the NBA, where one Los Angeles Lakers player thought he had just drilled a three-pointer as he saw it go into the net. Except that it didn't. It hit the wrong angle and the shot bounced out. Not only does he look like a fool for doing a pose for the shot he missed, but the shot eventually made its way to the hands of the opposite team. So you failed to make the shot, and you look like an idiot. That's an 0-2 situation on this 3. Number 23. Too cool to pay attention. Yeah, let's call this another of those hard knocks lessons, because sometimes the idea of looking cool after nailing something totally epic is just too much to ignore, and you plan it so well in your head that you know it'll look good once you land it, and it does. But there's always a catch. For this guy, he's got skills. Clearly, he does parkour, and he lands this amazing flip with little effort and goes right into the shades put on. A classic move in every way. And if we were to stop the GIF here, we'd be good, and so would he. But spatial awareness strikes again. You didn't see the pole because you were focused on the camera, and now you're flat on your back. Live and learn. 22. Gloating equals losing. I felt bad for the last guy, but I do not feel bad for this one, not one little bit. Because while it's nice to know that you've won, no one likes a gloater, especially when they're taunting the competition right before crossing the finish line. And this guy, he went the full 9 yards in order to gloat, pointing to the crowd, skating on just one blade, making noises. Yeah, he's an idiot. And he felt like one when the guy he thought he beat was in a better skating pose and blasted right by him to get the win. You get what you deserve, buddy. Number 21. Slide. Admit it, we've all done it. We've all slid on slick floors in order to see how far we could go or to trick our buddies into hurting themselves. But for this guy, yeah, he did all the work himself. I'll give him credit, he did commit to it, and he did make it the first time with a little help from his buddy getting clingy on him to make sure that he stayed upright. But when he decided he wanted to go for the double tap, and well, this happened. Accept the victory and move on, man. It's not that hard. 20. Run faster. All right, the first couple of people I might have been a little harsh on. Some of them deserved it though. But for this lady, the only thing I falter for is letting off the gas a little too early. You can clearly see her looking up at either the screen or the clock to see that she is about to win the race, and she honestly is keeping up a good pace. But the girl behind her is so desperate to win that she goes beast mode and races right by her. A classic mistake. Focus on the front, not anything else. Number 19. Touch all the bases. In sports, there are a few basic lessons that you honestly should know. What not to do with other players, respect the officials, and more. But in baseball and softball, there is a very basic rule that people seem to forget at times. Watch this video and see what I mean. Yep, she forgot to touch all the bases, despite it technically being a home run. And so, she was out. To be fair though, a lot of people were mad about the out when it happened because it seemed like a pitiful thing to allow since it was clearly a home run. But that's the rules. 18. Goal! Sometimes the worst times to be cocky is when you think you nailed something so epic and then karma just goes right around you and bites you in the butt. You usually wouldn't think about that happening in soccer, but this goalie is about to change your mind. Check it out. Oops. Before we show you more celebratory goofs and misfires, be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss our weekly videos. Number 17. Up in the air. I almost feel bad for this golfer, except I've seen shots like this go around the rim so many times I know to wait until it literally sinks itself in the hole. Granted, it looked like a great shot, but that's not enough in golf when a lot of things can go wrong. But here's the real question. Why in the world did he try and go for that clip club thing? What did he think that could do? Make him look cool? Because that ending definitely didn't make him look cool. 16. Look, Ma, no hands. Yeah, this is another case of a guy not getting my sympathy. Because while we've all seen people ride their bikes without hands and make it look easy and cool and fun, it doesn't mean you should always try it. Because now that guy not only has injuries, he went from first place to at least 10th or more, and he only has himself to blame. Do the no hands thing after the victory is assured. Number 15. No dancing in MMA. MMA, whether it be UFC, Bellator, or whatever brand you watch, is made not only by the fights, but by the fighters who have their own personalities that they bring into the ring. And oftentimes, they'll show that personality as they beat down opponents, which for the record is fine. That's how Conor McGregor and others got so big. But for this guy, he had his foe on the ropes, so to speak, and busted out a dance move which led to his opponent knocking him the heck out. You'll be dancing in your dreams now. 14. 1 yard short. The phrase 1 yard short in the NFL usually means that a player has been tackled and stopped just shy of the end zone, meaning that they were so close to scoring but failed to cross the plane. Like the legendary final play of Super Bowl 34 where the Titans were literally 1 yard short of victory. Fast forward a few decades and you have a Denver Broncos player getting a pass and dashing to the end zone for the score with no one close to touching him. The problem was that he gloated so much that he dropped the ball while gloating before he crossed into the end zone. That's technically a fumble, and it cost the team. Oops. Number 13. Spike. This is a bit of a blink and you'll miss it moment, so pay attention to the final volley in this game of volleyball. Yeah, it looks like the team closest to the camera weren't able to save it, but in fact, the opposite happened. It just didn't look like it, so the other team celebrated until the ball hit one of them in the head and they realized their horrible mistake. Sorry, ladies. 12. False start. How poetic. Another screw-up that the Broncos committed, but this time not by a player per se, though they did help, but rather by a dedicated fan. You see, there are some fans that are so in love with the sport that they decide to get tattoos to honor certain memorable moments, like winning the Super Bowl. And the Denver Broncos were in Super Bowl 48, and so this fan, feeling they would win, got a tattoo saying that they were the champs. Except that they didn't win. The Seattle Seahawks destroyed them 45-8, and that tattoo will forever remind him of that false start. Number 11. Last-second shot. Unlike the fan from before, I'm not going to fault these kids for thinking that they had this win in the bag. There is 2 seconds on the shot clock. The kid just made the go-ahead point to take the lead, and the kid on the other team just hurls it into the air and sinks the shot. Yeah, last-second shots happen all the time, but this? Yeah, that's kind of cruel. Sorry, kids. 10. Missed it by that much. Yeah, this is a picture that I think says everything I need to. Don't you? Number 9. Don't dance yet. Hey, remember the Los Angeles Lakers player from before with his missed shot? Well, this guy from the Hornets did an even bigger mistake because his shot also appeared to go in and he watched it go in, but instead of just doing a pose, he decided to break into a dance number while the ball bounced out of the rim and then the other players were scrambling for it. At least the Lakers guy realized his fault quickly. This guy, not so much. 8. Knockout? I'm honestly not sure what happened here, because this honestly does seem like a pretty clear-cut victory for this guy. He's wailing away on his foe, has him on his back, not fighting back, nothing. And yet, the ref doesn't stop the fight. But this guy thinks that he won, and I don't blame him. Granted, he didn't lose like the other guy did by taking his eye off the prize, but he was definitely confused. Number 7, you're not there yet. Usually, this play would be honored on SportsCenter's Top 10 or something like that. An amazing throw, an amazing catch, and a graceful waltz into the end zone. Except the defender didn't want that to happen, so he stays the course, trips the player up, and no touchdown is made. And that, children, is why you don't party until after you score the touchdown. 6. Dewey beats Truman. I'm going to get political a few times this list, and there have been a lot of weird political mishaps and screw-ups in premature celebrations. But without a doubt, one of the most iconic was in the election where Harry S. Truman became president. Not that the papers understood that. Number 5, tattoos. Again? Yes, again. But this time, it's with the legendary New England Patriots, who were undefeated in the regular season leading up to Super Bowl 52 and were projected to win huge against the New York Giants. And the fans knew it, and this guy went big on his tattoo right on his chest. The Giants won 17-14, and that fan will never forget it. 4. The Oscars. You'd think that the Oscars are infallible. It's the Oscars. But in one of the most insane and weird premature celebration stories ever, a wrong card led to the cast of La La Land thinking they won the award for Best Picture, when in fact it went to Moonlight. Needless to say, the Oscars made sure this would never happen again. Number 3, poor Al Gore. The 2000 U.S. election is held as one of the most controversial of all time, and it didn't help that many news anchors believe that Al Gore won the vote, including this news anchor who stated that the Supreme Court awarded the presidency to George W. Bush, because that's not what happened as the graphics in this clip shows. 2. Poor Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I need to dip into the political spectrum once again, because while that Al Gore thing was a classic misconception, just about everyone thought that Hillary Clinton was going to beat Donald Trump for the presidency in 2016. Including her a few weeks before the election, where she decided to post a pic of herself and stating that she was about to be president. She was ahead in the polls. Everyone said she would win. Oops. Number 1, the worst play in football history. Okay, I'm not actually sure if that is the case here, but let's watch this play and dissect everything that went wrong in it, okay? The key thing here is time, because time is what determines when a game is over. And the opposing team, let's call them, needs the field goal. But they miss it, and it's caught by the other team, which means the ball is live. But they're so happy that the other team missed that they forgot the game is still going. So they run it out of the end zone, spike the ball, and then realize all too late what they've done. The opposing team gets it, and they score. Those two kids are no doubt ridiculed for this play constantly, and they deserve to be. Thanks for watching, everyone. What did you think of these people who jumped the gun on their celebrations? Can you believe what happened to them to cost them the victory or win they nearly had? Which do you think is the most shocking of the bunch? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.